Hi family, I hope your pre-apocalypsing is going well. Let's get right into today's video. Wildfires have always been a factor in at-risk areas around the world, but recent devastating fires, especially in Maui, have a lot of people concerned about what would happen if wildfires happen in their area. Because if a lush island surrounded by water can be devastated by fire, then so can your area and mine. Most people don't realize that taking preventative measures can greatly reduce the chances that your home will be affected. It's not a guarantee, but very small differences can make a huge impact. We can't control how these fires start, but today we're going to discuss some key actions to take to safeguard your home from outside fire threats. I think the information will be worth your time, so let's dig in. Okay, real quick side note, I do want to address how fires get started. I have been down the conspiracy rabbit holes for over a decade, a very long time. I don't put it past certain organizations or entities or people to purposely set fires in different areas for their purposes. That being said, I don't think that every big fire that happens around the world or in our country is set for those purposes. Sometimes bad things just happen. But I do want to let you guys know I came across something last week. And it is from, in 1970, the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service, and it's a secret document that has since been released called Forest Fire as a Military Weapon. And I'm going to link this. I'm going to do a PDF document that you can print out that gives you all these tips that I'm going to talk about in the video. Plus, I'm going to include a link to this document that you can see for yourself. And I don't know if this is going to zoom in, but I wanted to read something just kind of creepy on here. I haven't read the whole thing, of course, at all, but I just read a couple things. And it starts out after the introduction. It says, Forest Fire as a Military Weapon. A quote from 2 Samuel 18, verses 6 and 8. The battle was fought in the forest of Ephraim, and the forest devoured more people that day than the sword. Whew. Whew. So I just wanted to put that out there. Again, I'm going to put the link to this document in the PDF file that I will tell you about at the end of the video. All right, back to the video. To begin with, we are living in a time where the king of fiery hell, Satan, has dominion over the earth, so having fire insurance would make sense, right? If you don't have it, get it. Now, assuming you have it now, or even if you don't, the first thing you should do before anything is document your home and belongings. This can be as simple as taking a quick video of every room in your home and garage and the contents of those rooms, such as in closets, furniture, and drawers. You can also do the same thing by taking photos or making a written list of every item in your home. I would suggest doing all three. We'll talk more about fire insurance claims and important steps to take before a fire happens towards the end of the video. Now, secondly, I would make a list of key must-save items that you would take with you in case you had to evacuate your home. When that stress hits, chances are you're not going to have time or clarity of mind to remember everything you can't do without. And I call this emergency fire list my emergency fire list. I know, my creativity is pretty mind-blowing. Some examples of items on my husband's and my list are important legal documents, photos, my cell phone, laptop, important metal weaponry, our Bibles, my cowboy boots, my dad's hat, cash, some clothes, and our chickens. I keep this list on my phone so it's always easy to find if an emergency strikes. 2 side notes. 1, I mentioned clothing in my list because if you're going to lose everything in a fire, certain clothing items of your own will be comforting in the days following the fire. I suggest writing down what specific items you'd like to have with you and keep it short. A few pairs of pants, a jacket, some shirts, and a comfortable pair of shoes, or in my case, cowboy boots, and don't forget clean underwear. Again, you want to choose these specific items ahead of time in case you only have a few minutes to evacuate. And 2, I mentioned my chickens. If you have pets, don't forget them and what they'll need as well, like some of their food, a water bowl, a leash, or any medications they may have to take. Also have something to put them in so you can transport them. I bought used dog kennels for my chickens that I can throw them in if we need to leave. Have those things written down on your list as well so your animals are taken care of. And if you have larger animals like cows or horses, make plans ahead of time with somebody that has a property you could take them to if needed. Pre-planning is essential. So what specifically can we do to stop our homes from catching on fire? Not all, but most modern homes are actually not that flammable. What makes them catch on fire is the flammable things on or around them, like dried leaves, firewood piles, and furniture cushions. So let's talk about that. You want to start by keeping the roof and gutters clean. Make sure they are free of debris such as leaves and pine needles, which can easily ignite during a wildfire. You can also install spark arresters on chimneys and stovepipes to prevent embers from entering your home. Next, clear away flammable debris to create a defensible space. You want to remove flammable materials like firewood piles, propane tanks, and other fuel sources from within 30 feet of your home. Make sure that any bushes or landscaping around your home are at least 3 feet from your house, and clear away any dead leaves and plant life from these spaces as well. Right now, every OCD HOA president is loving these tips so far. Creating this strategic space acts as a buffer zone, slowing down or stopping the spread of the fire towards your home. For example, in my area, we have a ton of cedar trees which are extremely flammable. It would be wise for us to remove all cedar that is near our home, along with any tree branches that are over our roof line or really close to our house. You also want to maintain landscaping in regards to choosing fire-resistant plants such as cacti, succulents, and even rosemary, and make sure your landscaping and lawns are well watered. I know, here in drought-stricken Texas, we get very triggered by watering lawn talk. Okay, so my fellow Texans, just know that I feel you, and I am sorry I said that. We can't water our lawns now, but the rains will come. And keep grass short and prune trees so that the lowest branches are at least 6 to 10 feet from the ground. And don't forget those furniture cushions. If your area is under threat of fire, make sure to bring them inside or put them in a place where embers cannot access them. I mean, can you imagine if your house actually burnt down because you left your It's Fall Y'all pillow sitting outside on your patio chair during the threat of a fire? Don't do that. Next, consider hardening your home, meaning, if possible, retrofit your home with fire-resistant materials and structures designed to withstand wildfires. This can include things like fire-resistant roofing, siding, decks, ember-resistant vents, which have small openings preventing embers from getting through, and non-combustible fences. And if possible, consider using materials like stucco, metal, or brick, which are less likely to catch on fire, and be blown down by a big bad wolf. And if you're younger than 35, that may not make sense, and shame on your parents. All right, moving on. You want to secure entry points, meaning sealing gaps and openings where embers could enter your home, such as vents, as we discussed, roof joints, crawl spaces, eaves, or soffits, and that is where the siding meets your roof. Basically, any part where your embers can get in, even small spaces, you want to make sure that they are sealed up because little embers start big fires. So let's talk about windows. Clear your windowsills of flammable items like wood planters or older dry wood shutters. Double paned or tempered glass windows are also less likely to shatter in extreme heat. And if you can, have water sources. Having an accessible water supply such as a swimming pool, well, or large water storage tank can aid firefighters or be used by you for emergency irrigation. Next, think about your neighborhood or community. Organize and participate in local community efforts to create defensible spaces and promote fire-safe practices, especially with your immediate neighbors. I have friends whose neighbor had a friend throw his cigarette onto the dry ground of Texas, and it started a fire that thankfully was put out before it did any damage to their home. But since that happened, they and their neighbors are being more strategic, so if a fire does come, whether it be from an idiot with a cigarette or by natural causes, they have a better chance of extinguishing it quickly. Along those lines, consider having a communication plan, such as a text group of neighbors or relevant people that could help you if a fire does come, or who could even help you evacuate. Keep in mind that some people may not be able to access your neighborhood if it's blocked off by the sheriff's department or the fire department for safety reasons. Next, stay informed. Stay updated on weather and fire conditions in your area through local news and official sources. This will help you make informed decisions about when to evacuate. We have a local system where we receive a text or a recorded phone call if the fire is close, and your area should have one too. If your area is at an immediate risk for fire, I highly suggest doing a few very important things. 1, have your emergency fire list items in one place and your pet's things ready to go. We were recently at risk for fire and we had our chicken kennels set up, ready to go. We had plastic bins by the door to put all our emergency items in them so we'd be ready. If we were alerted that things got more serious, we would have filled them up and been ready to leave at a moment's notice. 2, keep your cell phone charged and don't forget it and your charger if you have to leave. Also be aware that communication lines can go down, so walkie-talkies or similar communication devices could be helpful. 3, know where you're going to go. Keep track of where the fire is at and know the best and quickest escape routes with a destination point. This could be a friend's or family member's house that is out of danger or an evacuation location that is set up by local authorities. And 4, please do this. Have good filtered masks, protective goggles, and headlamp flashlights with your evacuation kits for every person in your family. The electricity often goes out during wildfires or things can escalate during the night and you will not be able to see. Also, the smoke may be suffocating or blinding, and having a good mask and goggles can literally save your life. Here are some examples of what we have. And guys, by all means, these things are not official fireproof or anything like that. I'm not planning on walking through fire. I'm just trying to survive smoke and ash and stuff all around me. So first things first, a good filtered mask. This is just by 3M.
Luke, I am your father. Mother.
Luke, I am your mother because I'm a woman and I can't be a father. But here you go. Okay, A number 1. Number 2, goggles. Not going to put these on and mess up my hair, but rubber seal right here. So they're going to seal up close to your face, and you want everything to fit snugly. Especially think of that for your kids. Have these things already fit and ready to go. And also, finally, the headlamp flashlight. Again, I'm not going to mess up my hair. Put it on there, and then boom, there you go. You want hands-free because you're going to be carrying things like chickens and only the good Lord knows what else. But you definitely want your hands free, and there you go. All right, let's quickly go through some insurance info that can possibly save you a lot of work and money in case you ever have a fire. Remember, preventative work is worth it, and these things are not that tough to get done. So, number 1, make sure you are knowledgeable about your coverage limits, deductibles, and specific terms of your insurance policy. Does your coverage cover all that you would need it to? 2, you want to save receipts, invoices, and any other documentation that can prove ownership and value of your belongings, especially the expensive ones. So that means paper receipts, or it could mean credit card statements, appraisals, and warranty information. Be sure to include descriptions, values, and approximate purchase dates of important items in your inventory. Because sometimes insurance companies don't want to pay you full value for your belongings, so this can be extremely helpful when making claims. Your pictures and your videos will be a huge asset in that process, and also make sure you have all the documentation in one place so you can take it with you in case of an evacuation. You can also store it in cloud storage or somewhere away from your home, or put it in a fireproof safe, or better yet, all 3. If you do have a fire, take detailed photographs and videos of the damage before any cleanup or repairs are initiated. This documentation can serve as crucial evidence for your claim. Next, keep track of any additional expenses incurred due to the fire, such as temporary housing costs, meals, and transportation. These can be reimbursed by your insurance provider depending on your policy. Also, be sure to obtain an official report from the local authorities or fire departments detailing the cause of the fire, because this can also be important for validating your claim. And finally, document that you implemented fire safety measures around your property, such as creating defensible spaces, using fire-resistant building materials, and following local fire safety guidelines. This may demonstrate your commitment to fire safety to the insurance company and give you a stronger claim. Alrighty guys, I hope you found this information helpful and that it gives you a clear guidance on how to protect yourself and your home from wildfires. Again, I have made a PDF document you can print out with all this information in list form that you can use in making your plans. Most likely it will actually have extra information in it that I forgot to put in this video as well. And I know for sure I'll be giving an extra list of all the more fire resistant plants for your landscaping. And who knows what else I'm going to throw in there, but I'll make it fun. To access that file, you can go to my website, goodpatriot.com, and to the info downloads page and find it there. And while you're there, if you'd like to sign up for my email list, that would be awesome for both of us, because you will get access to Sale's amazing email newsletters, not too often, as well as important announcements like if we're invaded by reptilian political psychopaths. Whoops, we already were. I'm just kidding. You can also support me further by purchasing merchandise on my website or by supporting me through my affiliates on my support page. Please share this information with your loved ones, especially your neighbors. And here are a few videos you may find helpful. And may God bless you guys. I'm Katie from Good Patriot, and I will see you again soon.